Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther. For those that are new here, thank you so much for all the love on my last video. It feels so good to be back on YouTube, and I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much. So please disregard any sound you're hearing in the background. That's my fan running. I mean, immediately I sat down to shoot this video, PHCN decided to do what they know how to do best. So this video is going to be a story time, and it's going to be centered around the current issue on ground right now. So I'll just go right into the story. So I had this very close friend of mine. This was far back in 2012, 2013. That was during my National Youth Service. And you know, we used to be very close before that time, but you know, I don't know, we just lost contact. We just stopped talking to each other. We lost contact and everything. So I don't know, one day I just felt led to call this guy. You know how people just come to your mind, probably the Holy Spirit just leads you to call someone or put someone in your mind. So when you have that leading, you know, to reach out to someone, to check on someone, please do, and do it immediately, because you might forget. So because that could be you saving someone from something, that could be you yeah, basically just saving someone from anything, you know. So when you have that leading, please act on it immediately. Yes, that's the word. So I had this leading to reach out to this guy. Like I said, we were very close, but we just stopped talking. I had this leading to reach out to this guy, and I dialed his number, and someone, initially nobody picked, and then I dialed the number again and someone picked the call. A lady picked the call, and she was like, she doesn't know the owner of the phone. The guy was arrested. Police carried him, and while he was passing through her shop, because she sells at the time she was selling recharge cards, and while they were passing through her, the guy just dropped the phone, like dropped the phone with her, and begged her to just hold the phone, that someone was going to reach her. You know, just dropped his phone with the lady. He didn't want to take the phone with him to the police station. Yeah, which I feel was a very good thing to do, you know, because if he had gone to the police station, they would have probably taken the phone from him, and that would have been that would have just ended any chance of anyone reaching him. So he dropped the phone with the lady, and when I called the lady, she was like, she doesn't know the owner of the phone, and in fact she just forgot about it, because the day, I think this was about 2 weeks after the guy had dropped the phone with her, she dropped the phone in her kiosk or something, and she said she wasn't feeling fine for a while, so she wasn't coming to the shop. And then that day she decided to come to the shop, you know, and she now remembered that somebody dropped the phone with her, and she just put on the phone, and my call came through, and she said he was in the police station. The police just took him, literally. She didn't even know where he was. Police just took him. So everything was just so confusing. I was like, I just didn't understand the story. Initially I felt like, oh, probably someone stole the phone, or I'm like, but why would if someone stole the phone, I mean, the person will not pick up the call and stuff like that. So I just had to believe her, because that was the only, I mean, story or the only information that I had about this guy at the time. So I called one of his friends who wasn't even in the States at the time. So I called him and I explained to him what happened, blah blah. I called his number, and the lady answered, and this and that. This is what she said. So this guy left where he was and came to Calabar, and went to this, met the lady, called the lady, met the lady, and you know, the hunt started. You know, they started looking for the police station where he was. So finally, you know, they found him, and you know, the summary of everything is that they found him and they got him out of the police station. Now this is the cocoa in the matter. When this guy came out, and you know, he started telling us what happened, the story. So he said that there was an armed robbery attack the night before on his street where he lived. There was an armed robbery attack, yes, and then the next day police just came and started picking people on the streets. Just started picking youths on these guys on the streets. I mean, if they see you on the street, irrespective of, I mean, just for no reason, they were just picking people. And you know, this is something that goes on. It happens every time in our country, you know. Police just picking people on the street, especially after a robbery attack. I don't know how that, if that happens here in Lagos, I mean that particular that particular thing of picking people after robbery. But I know it happens a lot in my state where I grew up, you know, in Cross River State. And so they just started picking people on the streets, picking guys on the streets. And unfortunately, he was one of the guys that they picked. They just packed people. They just put you in their van and just drive away. So you're a suspect. That's what it is. So that's how they packed them, took all of them to the police station, stripped them of everything, their clothes, every single thing on them, just took everything and put them in the cell. Just like that. No trial, nothing. They just put them there. So people who had people around, people came to come and bail some people out. But this guy, I mean, I'm not going to go into details about his story. The summary is that he literally had no one around. That's just a summary of everything. He didn't have family around. He didn't have anybody around. That's just, I can't go into details. So in a period of 2 weeks, they had transferred them from one cell to another, and he ended up in prison. And he said something that, I mean, till today it still affects me. Like he said, there were criminals, people who had actually committed crimes there in the prison, there with them, or in the cell, or whatever. I don't know what word to use right now. So big people or influential people or people who had money would come and take their own people, as in people who actually committed the crime. They would exchange them. So probably if someone had a death sentence and you had someone who was ready to bail you out, they would exchange you with someone like him who had no one. So I mean, till today, that whole thing has not even left my head. So that's how they were exchanging them. Those people who had no one to come bail them out, they would exchange them with people who had actually committed crimes and had people to come bail them out, you know. So they were just exchanging them, and that's how, you know, some people were dying. That's why a lot of times you hear people you don't hear about anybody, you don't know where they've been, or some people go out and don't come back, or you just don't hear about someone and you're just wondering where are they, like family, everybody's looking for them and they can't find them. Most times this is what happens to them. So that's what happens, and they exchange them. And I mean, he had already lost hope. He was just waiting for the day he would be exchanged with someone, or the day he was going to die. I mean, the living condition alone was as in enough to kill someone. Like when he came out, he went down with typhoid, malaria, all sorts. I mean, oh my god. So why did I share this story with you guys? I was just telling my husband about this story, and I said to myself, this can happen to anybody, as long as you're a guy, even a lady. This can happen to anybody. It could happen to, I have brothers, and every day I think and imagine, you know, such a thing happening to my brothers. Personally, I have seen the police, Sars, whatever, I have seen them brutalize someone. Not even someone, people. You see it every day on the street of Lagos. Every single day on the street of Lagos. And most times, what's their crime? It's not something, whatever they did is not something that would warrant such harassment. You know, you're being harassed every day. They're stopping you, checking your particulars, checking for what is not lost, literally. Oh, for those that don't know, SARS is the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. It's a unit, it's a special unit from the police, yes, of Nigeria. So these people are meant to, or they are tasked with the responsibility of protecting the people, but they have directly harassed and caused the death of innocent youths in Nigeria. And this has to stop. This has to stop. This has nothing to do with, oh, even because even if you're found guilty, I mean, even if you're a suspect, you're a crime suspect, you're into fraud or anything, it is not your place to give out any judgment to anybody. There is a procedure. That person has to be tried. But the police in our country, or these people, just take laws in their hands. They harass people, they beat people up, they kill people, they even rob people, you know. And I mean, this is not me being negative or talking down on the police force or anything. I mean, they're still very good people. They're still people who know why they went into the force. They're still people who are passionate about the safety of people and the safety, or passionate about the country, you know, but there are a few bad eggs, and these few bad eggs have to be removed, or there has to be a system or a structure that checks all these imbalances, you know, and it has to stop, because every day people are dying. I mean, the country is hard enough for people, especially youths. The country is hard enough. The rate of unemployment and all these things is enough, you know, to you know, it's just hard enough, you know. So I just feel like there's some things that we shouldn't be bothered about. We shouldn't be bothered about, you know, when you want to go out, you're thinking about, oh my god, this jewelry that I'm wearing, this thing this, the way I'm looking, my laptop and all that. I shouldn't be bothered about, you know, all those things when I'm going out. I should be able to walk on the streets without being scared, or without the fear of harassment from police or anybody. So if there was a time for our voices to be heard collectively, this is that time, irrespective of religion, denomination, tribe, class, social strata and all that. You know, sometimes we might say, oh, it's not my problem, you know, concern me, you know, it's not happening to me. I mean, I was talking to my friend just this morning, and she was saying to me, Esther, it's people's Lagos problem. It's not a Lagos problem. You have family members in Lagos. It's happening everywhere. Like, I just shared a story of something that happened in Cross River State. So it is our problem as a country. It's our problem as a nation, because it might not happen to you directly, but you have friends. It's coming to you. And aside that, you have friends, you have family in all these places, and it could be anybody. I keep saying it could be anybody. It just could be, as long as you fit into that profile. You have a profile. As long as you fit into that profile, it just could be anybody. And so this thing has to be checked. So what exactly can government do? I feel like these guys need to be properly trained, not just, oh, coming to the police academy and all that. Proper training, you know, medical insurance, education for their kids, proper living conditions, and most importantly, there should be a proper transformation of the system and the structure, you know, for recruiting these guys, for deployment, the use of their equipment. All that should be properly structured, you know, properly structured and reformed. You have to show support to the frontline people that are protesting this injustice. We really have to show support in whatever way you can, on social media, however way you can. Please, we need to show support. Whatever petition there is to sign, we need to sign this support. We need to sign this petition. We also need to seek accountability from our leaders. And I would continue to be positive about my country. I'll continue to pray. We need to continue to pray for our leaders and pray for this country. Despite the things that are going on, I will still be positive about this country. I know that everything is going to be fine. And more than just protesting, because personally I'm someone that I just love it when there's structure, because when there's structure, everything will flow well. So more than all this protest, and every day we are crying, government do this, government do that, we are protesting, we are talking on Twitter, we are fighting on Twitter and all that, calling out this and calling out that. More than all these things is for us to try and put structure in place. What am I trying to say? When it's time to vote, guys, please register to vote. So when all this noise calms down and all the protests and everything calms down and everything goes back to normal, I'm not being negative, let's come out and vote. Vote for people, vote like-minded people into the House of Assembly, into the Senate, into the House of Representatives, people who would make the right decisions, you know, that would be of good to our country, to the common man, to the people. End Sars, stop the police brutality. I support the movement, and I just pray and I hope that this protest really goes a long way in changing things. And like I said, most importantly, let us come out and vote when it is time. Thank you so much for watching the video. I think I'll just stop here. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget, always let your light shine wherever you find yourself, and let's leave this world better than we found it, one person at a time. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Bye.